All right, welcome back, everybody. Time for us to go behind the headlines. It's about 15 after, and getting this from the Washington Post Wonk blog, reporting on the black-white marijuana arrest gap in 9 charts. And so we're going to run through this real quick. It's stuff that we already know, but man, when you see it posted as data, can really just really highlight this this system. Now, in our first graph, black-white one, if you pull that up there, Brian, is the graph in the years of the 2000s, comparing white folks in pink, which is actually kind of accurate, and black folks compared in their marijuana use over the past 12 months. And in 2001, white folks used it more often. Black folks used it more often throughout the rest of the years, but not a whole big difference, right? It's pretty close, statistically speaking. And in fact, when you take a look at it for the younger folks and pull that up on graph 2, you'll find that for the ages 18 to 25 use over the past 12 months, it's more white kids that are using marijuana. But again, not a huge gap here, not a big difference in the use between white folks and black folks. But and in fact, when you pull up the third graph here, what you'll find is that more white folks have actually tried it, right? When you look at, have you ever used marijuana? Actually, this is the reverse. This is, I've never used marijuana. And that's gone from, about 66, about 2 out of 3 African-American folks from 2001 up to about 60% by the 2010. But again, a bigger number than what you see for Caucasians, for white folks. So fewer black folks as a group are ever trying marijuana. So those are your first 3 graphs, right? We got a general idea here. Use is about the same, give or take, right? Pull up graph 4. This is the graph of marijuana arrest for just possession by race, where we go from 2001 to 2010, and every single one of those black bars, if you're listening on the podcast, is at least twice as big, sometimes 3 or 4 times as big as the corresponding bar for the white people. Again, as we've known for years and years, and if you read Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow, you'll know this too, that the drug war, and particularly the war on marijuana, is disproportionately impacting people of color, Latinos, black folks, and in this case, we're just comparing black and white. And this is a disparity that we can see across the board on our next graph that you bring up here. And I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, number 5 that we bring up here. This is the bell curve showing you the distribution of racial disparity in these marijuana possession arrests. And from the left to the right, we're talking about at equal, like at number 1 there, where there's that kind of red line going down, that would be where white people and black people are being arrested in equal rates. So when you go to number 2 there, that's twice as much. When you go to number 3, that's 3 times as much, right? There are some counties in America, when you get out there to the right side of the graph, where black people are being arrested at 10 times the rate of white people. But generally, the graph here in the middle, kind of the bell curve part of it, is between 2 to 4 times. That's a bulk. And the Y values on this graph are the number of counties in America. So the greatest number there, there's about 130 counties in America where it's about 3 times more likely you're going to be arrested for marijuana possession if you're black. And in our next graph, this is broken down by some of the most populous counties in the United States. Things like, Los Angeles, California, Cook County, Illinois, you're talking Chicago, right? Harris County, Texas. I believe is that the Dallas, Fort Worth area? Could be. Maricopa, Arizona, that would be Phoenix, Arizona, San Diego County, Orange County, Kings County, New York, Miami-Dade, Dallas, Texas. All of these where you see the arrest rate for black people just so much greater than the arrest rate for white people. In the next graph, we can see a lot of what is driving this. When they keep talking about the war on drugs, we're not really talking about drugs generally. We're generally talking about marijuana. The graph you see that's running from 95 across to 2010 is the proportion that marijuana makes out of all drug arrests. And looking back to 1995, about 1 out of 3 drug arrests was for marijuana. Now you get out to 2010, it's up to 45, 46%. We're talking about, more than 2 out of 5 drug arrests are for marijuana. And this is just possession. We're just talking about possession in this particular graph. Now, moving on to the 7th graph. Now, this next couple are really amazing. Massachusetts decriminalized marijuana, and you can see how the overall possessions went down 2007, 2008, and then it plummeted 2009, 2010, because you have to have over an ounce for possession, right? But in this next graph, this compares the marijuana arrest rates And even though far fewer people got arrested for marijuana in Massachusetts after decriminalization, it was still 5 times the white arrest. So yeah, far fewer arrests, but still disproportionately impacting people of color, impacting black people up there in Massachusetts. So there's still plenty of work to be done, and this gives you kind of an idea what is still left on our agenda. All right, that's all the time we got for that. We could go for hours and hours on this, but it is 4:20 here in Denver, where it's legal, thanks to lots of people in this room, and we'll be talking to them when we come back.
Have you ever met that funny reefer man?